What's happening, guys? It's Micah Richards here. Hope everyone's keeping safe and well during these difficult times for all of us. Today, I'm catching up with two England stars to talk about what they've been doing during the lockdown. A little bit later, we'll talk to Tyrone Mings, but first, here's Harry Winks.
Oh, here we go. Hold on.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. We've got Lewis, we're in. Cheers, guys. Cheers.
What are you on now? Are you on your phone or are you on your...
Laptop.
Are you on your laptop?
Yeah, we're on my laptop. Yeah, it must be my phone.
Wiki.
Problem with my phone.
People are asking, and have you been, what sort of box sets have you been watching?
Yeah, I've been well, I've had no choice but to watch as much as I could. I've basically just got through the whole of Netflix already. There's nothing else to watch.
What are you watching now? What are you watching on Netflix?
I've just finished that Tiger King. I don't know if you've seen that.
What I watched that, and the first one, it was too much for my brain. So I was just like, what is going on here? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everyone's like loving it out there at the moment, but I couldn't get into it if I was being told.
It took me a while, but I had to finish it. It wasn't the best thing I've watched. This thing I watched this. It's on Sky as it goes. I think it's an American show. You might quite like it. It's called Temptation Island. I don't know if have you heard of it.
Wait, is it all calling that like the downgraded Love Island?
Yeah. No, for me, it's an upgraded version. It's literally.
Is it that good?
It's carnage. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's a good watch. Yeah, I think I've got through 2 seasons of that in the last 5 or 6 days. Just been literally battering it, hammer and top, just every day watching it, which is good.
Really?
Yeah.
And what about like snacking and stuff like that? Like, I know like it's difficult for you boys, but you must be snacking and stuff like that. What you treats you like to have?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I don't buy it because I know I'll do it. I've got like, I know if I buy the chocolate or the crisps, I know I'll eat it, and so I purposely don't buy that sort of stuff. I just get a lot of fruit in, a lot of veg, try and get like a nice week's worth of food early doors, and just literally stay at the house and have that, and try not to snack because obviously we're not working and training as hard as we would, so it's difficult to burn all that stuff off. So
what sort of training have you been doing like to keep fit? Obviously it's difficult. I've seen all these people doing like the Zoom stuff and that, and I don't know, going for, because me personally, I could never run. Like, you're obviously a fit lad, midfielder, you can run for days, but anything involving like jogging, I just couldn't do. Do you know what I mean? So what sort of other things you've been doing?
Well, that's it. I mean, we've been doing, like you said, the Zoom sessions. We've been on them every morning at 11 o'clock with the team. So we've got 25 lads on the camera. The fourth finalist at the front in the gym. He's just doing all the exercises. So it's like literally 60 to 90 minutes of work every day, just on there and doing. It starts off with a bit of like strength work, a bit of sort of stretching, mobility, and then we go into like running or a bike session, but something difficult at the end, and just to get a little bit of our blood going and our hearts going. But yeah.
So what's the banter like then on the Zoom calls? It must be flying, the banter.
It's impossible when you've got 25 lads trying to have a conversation. It just everyone has to mute their calls and stuff. Because if we've got the sports scientist at the front trying to show us the drills and he's talking and everyone else it's impossible to do it. So everyone kind of stays quiet.
And what about like who's a joker? Who's a joker of the group? That there's always every changing room's got a couple of jokers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've got a few jokers. I'll say Lucas. Lucas Moore he's a funny character. He has that kind of childish banter, but it works. It works, and he's a good laugh.
Really. So a lot of people are asking as well. If he was to cook, like now, what's his speciality dish?
I'd probably say paella. Paella, but I wouldn't know how to explain it over the house. So don't put me on the spot.
No, because mine, I don't really cook, but I had Nando's on Deliveroo.
Oh, do you have that, do you?
Yeah, just on so every night. Like, because of the work and stuff I do now, it's like you get back like 10:30, 11 or what. It shuts at about 11 o'clock. I ain't got time really to be cooking, so I just get the Nando's. You can't beat the Nando's.
No, you can't. I didn't even know they'd done that on Deliveroo.
Yeah, we got the Nando's.
Game changer, that absolute game changer.
Speaking to Tyrone Mings as well, and he plays the piano. Do you play any instrument?
No,
yeah.
I'm not that creative now. I've been learning the last couple of years a little bit of Spanish. So
Oh, really?
I've been trying to learn Spanish, which I'm not great at, but I've.
You're gonna give us a little bit of lingo. What you got for us?
On the spot, I can't.
Because James Milner was learning Spanish as well, but he's got like a broad, like Northern Yorkshire accent. Do you know what I mean? So he's speaking like Spanish in this North. It just doesn't sound right. Do you know what I mean? It's like when I was in Fiorentina, because I played in Italy for a while. Like it's when you're speaking, it sounds a bit like a song. You know, like they say like it's a language, but it's like a musical.
So do you know a bit of Italian then?
Yeah, well, I've got I speak a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, poquito.
That's Spanish, that's not Italian.
And you know, when I was speaking it, I just like to myself, just shut up. You sound like an absolute idiot. Do you know what I mean? So once you get over that barrier, though, I think you'll be sweet.
Yeah, I went to Barcelona a couple of months ago now, actually, as it was just before the all this obviously happened, and they don't really speak much English out there. So when I was getting into taxis and stuff, you know, you have no choice but to try it and use your Spanish. I mean, half the time I don't know if they understood what I was saying, but it was, when you get into that situation, you have to do it, didn't you? You have to do it.
I seen on your Instagram as well. You did that the teacup challenge. How many tries did it take you to do that? Come on, be honest to me.
I'd love to sit here and say to you, I done it straight away, but no, it took me about 45 minutes to do. Constant videoing. I mean, if you to see the video at the end, I had to trim it. About 40 minutes worth it took,
More on a serious note, you know, obviously you can't play football at this moment. What sort of challenges has it brought you? You know, mental side of it as well.
Yeah, it's difficult. You know, it's I'm lucky. I've got a strong sort of group of people around me, my friends, my family, who I sort of talk to every day, and it's important that I stay in touch with them, because when you're trapped in your house, it can be quite difficult. You know, I still obviously follow the government guidelines and go for a daily walk every day as well, which is just to get out of the house, get a bit of fresh air, and as well a bit of exercise. But I mean, like I said, I'm lucky that I've got sort of like close knit family and friends around me.
Yeah, fair enough. That's good to hear, because I think a lot of people don't know the mental toughness that a footballer has to have. Not just now as well, but obviously I went through a stage for probably 2 years where, with injuries and stuff, you've not really got someone to talk to. I like the fact that everyone's sort of embracing it now, do you know what I mean? And talking about it. I think it's important for you guys to talk about it and sort of share your feelings, so people can relate to that.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, especially as like even as men as well, not just footballers, but we're always kind of like trained to really sort of talk about things and get it off our chest. But I think now everybody is more open about everything, and it's sort of come out of people have said stuff about their problems and stuff. It's important that everyone sort of talks about it, and I think it just it leads to a sort of healthier lifestyle really and mindset.
Yeah, wicked. I love another question that came through. Who's your your best friend at Tottenham, or even on England camp as well? Who's the boys who you mingle with the most?
Well, I mean, at England especially, I'm quite close with Chile, so Ben Chilwell. We've sort of gone together from all the age groups at England, from under 17s upwards, and so I'm quite close when I go to England with him. But I mean, at Spurs, we're such a tight group anyway. I think it'd be difficult to say, who's my best mate and stuff. I'm close with everybody, especially the younger lads as well. We get on really well. But I think, even with the older lads, as the last couple of years, as I've sort of stayed in the first team and been around it, I've got closer to some of the older lads and the senior boys. And we've just got a good team spirit and a good sort of morale around the side.
So what age did you start at Tottenham then?
5. When I was
5.
5, yeah.
So that's similar. Not to me. I started Man City at 14. So for you to break through and go pretty much all the youth levels of England as well, and then all the youth level of Spurs, it must mean a little bit more to you playing for Spurs as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, I've always said, playing for Tottenham, I'm like a fan on the pitch as well, because I've been a fan in the stands, and it's obviously when we score, it's that little bit better, and when we concede or lose, it's that little bit worse. So it has its pluses and its negatives, but it's Yeah, like you said, I've been at the club since I was 5, so, and I've supported them ever since I can remember. So it's a massive
Oh,
honour.
wicked. More a question for me, really, because I think it's good that your type of player is getting pushed through now. You know what I mean? Because when I was coming through, all like the small technical players, they would
Yeah.
lead the way for a little while, but as soon as they go to men's football, they'd sort of get left behind a little bit. I'm glad now England are starting to realise, actually, no, the best players are the ones that can play football. Do you know what I mean? So that must have helped you a lot as well.
It did, yeah. I mean, the way the game's evolved over the last couple of years, it's gone to a little bit more kind of, technical, more sort of playing possession sort of football. And I think that's what a lot of teams like to do now, and a lot of managers like in their teams. And I'm quite fortunate. When I first come through, we had a manager, in Pochettino who liked that as well, and he was sort of patient with us as well, and myself, because I was never been the biggest and the tallest, and I had to work on gym and get stronger and fitter. And I mean, it took me 2 or 3 years of training with the first team before I eventually, got my chance to sort of play regularly and break through, really.
Oh, honestly, it's brilliant. It's great to see. I think, obviously, seeing you guys team now, I was lucky enough to play with, Gerrard and David Beckham, and for some reason, we had all these great players, but it didn't click. But it seems like now you guys have got a sort of a team spirit, and it not necessarily have to be top names, but you've got great players, and you're all rowing in the same direction. And I think it's helped you massively.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, I think not only is we've got such a talented and exceptional squad, but we've everyone's such like good people and nice people, and humble. And I think it makes such a difference, when you're out when you're there. I mean, when I first come into the England setup, and I was I was petrified. I was so nervous. I remember thinking, all these big names, all these people that have been around this setup for so many years, and I'm just joining this. What I was, but they were so sort of welcoming and nice, and made me feel sort of at home straight away. And it's nice for that. You sort of have that sort of team spirit straight away.
Oh, it's brilliant. Another question. I'm speaking to Tyrone Mings as well.
Yeah.
They've asked for you. Have you got a question for Tyrone Mings?
I haven't even thought for one.
No, you don't need to. Don't worry, you're not put on the spot. We've got as much time. Well, I've got to go in about 3 minutes, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. Is he waiting on the call? Is he?
Well, he'll be waiting. Yeah, because we took a bit longer to get set up. He'll be waiting. But don't worry.
The next couple of minutes.
Anything could be anything stupid, anything.
Yeah,
don't worry about.
He's a funny guy as well, Mings.
He loves himself, though, doesn't he? He loves himself. Yeah. He's chocolate.
Okay, ask him that from upset. Say how many times has he looked in the mirror? He's sick. Because I can imagine him every 5 minutes looking in that mirror.
Oh, brilliant. Well, yeah, I won't take too much more of your time, but I just want to say thank you very much for agreeing to coming on. Honestly, it's a pleasure. I'm glad to see players like you coming through now. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it can only be better for football, and I wish you your career at Spurs. Hopefully, you'll be there for your whole career, become a legend there, and get as much England caps as you possibly can. But yeah, honestly, a pleasure.
No, thanks for having me. I appreciate you taking the time as well to come on here. So it's good.
No worries at all.
Cheers.
Take it easy.
In a bit. Take care. Bye-bye.
What's going on?
Just be speaking to Wings. What a nice guy he is, mate. But
what's that wallpaper?
I'm in my office actually. Mate.
What's that, drawings?
Yeah, it's like people's faces. Crazy.
Nah, that's mad. There's TV behind him, He's got a pointless TV in the office.
Right, I think we've only got 3 minutes, so let me get started. All right, what have you been doing during the lockdown?
Yeah, no, it's a strange time, innit? But I'm kind of enjoying it. It's time that we're never going to get again as footballers. Like, you're never going to get a 6-week, 8-week break in the season again. So we know that, well, it looks likely that football will continue in some way or shape or form. So just gives you time to work on other things, doesn't it? Like I said the other day that I'm playing the piano, learning to play the piano.
Someone was asking about that a bit later on. Someone was asking about that, yeah.
So hard, honestly, so hard. But nah, things like that. I enjoy reading, and obviously we can still keep fit in different ways. Fortunate enough to have a gym at the house, so we can stay strong. And yeah, just trying to keep
I can
ticking
see
over.
that
Really.
though. You're shredded though. Yeah, so yeah, let me talk me through this diet plan, because I always fancied myself as a little bit, you know what I mean? But you took it to the next level, you know.
Well, you know what it is? I think a lot of it is in football. You know, when you play football, you don't really have to worry about what you eat, do you? And I think gene wise, I'm quite blessed that I can't put weight on no matter what I eat. I'm banging Haribo, chocolate hobnobs, all sorts. Nothing's affecting my body.
All
fat.
sorts of treats.
All sorts every day. But obviously, when it comes to mealtime, I'm quite strict with that. Supplements, I'm quite strict with, and I'm still exercising a lot, so I don't think it's had too much of an effect. The problem is I'm just banging gym. Like I've got nothing out of boredom really. Obviously I've got a weight plan, but
well, talk us through your weight plan. What's your weight plan? Because the people want to hear it. They want to have a body like yours. You know what I mean?
Bro, I'm not big. I'm not like you.
Yeah, but you're shredded though. Some people want that lean look. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe I have to put together a little core workout. People can get to feel what I'm doing, but nah, obviously a big part of it is just maintaining strength. I don't really want to put too much weight on because I don't want to be too heavy when I go back. But I'm usually, my fighting weight is about 91.5 kilos, and I'm about 93.5 now.
Too many turkeys. It's not Christmas, you know.
Yo, it's just gym. I'm telling you,
it's just gym. So
but,
yeah, you said
I'm enjoying it.
You said you spoke. You played the piano, or learning to play the piano. How did that come about?
I'm not playing any for you.
Why? You knew that was coming, didn't you? You knew that was coming. You knew it was coming. Are you gonna give us a little nothing?
It's too soon.
How did that come about though? Is that just because we're in lockdown, or?
Yeah, probably. It's just one of those things. Like everyone's got things that they would love to do, but in normal life, you just don't find the time, or you make excuses. Or so now you got nothing else to do. It's just a perfect time to work on yourself. So yeah, I thought I could either learn a language or learn a instrument. Guitar just seems too aggressive. Piano, I've got like a digital one, so I can turn the volume down. So if I mess up, just turn it down. Just turn it down and then go again. But no, I'm actually enjoying it. It's something that I wanted to learn for a long time, and it's humbling as well. You know, obviously every day we just play football and we're good at it. We know it. We've played it for a long time. So mentally, you've always got to keep challenging yourself in football. But to go back to something and start from scratch, it's humbling. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, I can imagine. So what about the gaming or box sets or music? What else are you doing in your
You know, I've actually not watched Netflix once since you've been in this lockdown.
Really?
I'm not really a box set or a film kind of guy. I've just been banging Call of Duty.
Really? Okay, so more Call of Duty. Yeah, I remember that the first Call of Duty was the best one though. Was it Modern Warfare?
Yeah, I've never played any other one than this.
Yeah, I'm not. To be fair, I've not played gaming for years. I don't know why. I used to play FIFA, but it used to get me too angry. I loved it, but then it used to get me too angry. I broke too many pads. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some people take it too serious though.
Yeah,
it's not that deep.
Yeah, cool.
FIFA's personal though. FIFA's playing against someone else.
It is personal, isn't it?
Personal. Someone starts playing around from the back and that, wasting time.
But yeah, another question was more like, how are you keeping fit? I know you mentioned the gym and stuff like that, but you've got to keep to some sort of fitness just for when you're ready to go back. You know what I mean? What other stuff you've been doing?
Yeah, we've got training plans, and I think every club's different, isn't it? Some people are getting together on Zoom calls as a team. Some people are doing work individually. And I've got a fitness plan, kind of like a structure of the week and what days to do certain runs. It's not ideal because like I've got a football pitch around near me. It's just like a local pitch. I just do it on there. It's not ideal, but it's better than road running. So it's all right. I mean, everyone will come back in different different shapes and sizes when we come back, because it's so strange, isn't it? Like, we don't even
Yeah.
get this amount of time off in the summer. When you think, if you don't play international football, you got 6 weeks really. 3 weeks you can do what you want. The other 3 weeks you got to spend getting fit for pre-season. So
Yeah, of course.
you don't ever get this amount of time where you're just doing your own thing, really. So it's tough mentally. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's tough for players that are like single, players that have got nothing else to do, players that get bored easily, and players that like PlayStation.
Yeah, of course. So what about your knee? How's your knee? This is more a question from me, obviously, because I had my situations with my knee, and like the mental side for me was difficult. Do you know what I mean? But to see you had obviously the cruciate, was that at Bournemouth? You had the cruciate. Obviously,
Yeah.
Ipswich, he was playing, and he was like, would say, like man of the match every week. That's what got you moving. Then obviously to Bournemouth, you got the cruciate. How's it been like that? Because people only see the side of, Tyrone Mings, Aston Villa, England. Do you know what I mean? But they don't understand what you had to go through to get that, especially with your injury. You know what I mean?
Yeah, trust me. I think injuries are the worst part of any player's career, especially if it has a big impact, because everything's out of your control. And I think that's the toughest part mentally, that you can't control it. If you go into a game and you have a bad game, or you're having a bad run of games, you know that the only person that can affect things really is you. And as long as you keep getting picked, you can keep trying to change the outcome. But mentally, it's so tough. And I mean, sitting here talking to you about injuries, no one else is going to understand more. So, like, mentally, I got injured on my debut for Bournemouth, like my Premier League debut, and it was 6 minutes into it, and it was Bournemouth's first season. I was thinking, right, big money move, cracked it, everything's up from here, playing in the Premier League for the first time. This is what I've always dreamed of. And then bang, I got that, and immediately I knew. So I done ACL and MCL, so I knew I was going to be out for like 9 to 12 months. And I was thinking, there's absolutely no guarantee that Bournemouth are still going to be in the Prem when I come back. So things like that, your whole career is kind of in someone else's hands. And I mean, fortunately for me, through seeing different specialists and being able to get my knee back on track, I came back and got to this level now where people are interested in the story. But like, you see so many players where they go the other way and they never either get to talk about it, they never get to right the wrongs of what they felt like wasn't their fault. So yeah, I feel very fortunate to have come through it, and I mean, touch wood, it's never given me any problems again since. And for such a big injury, I mean, I had 3 different operations to correct it from the first surgery. So between the first surgery and the third one was probably about 4 months. And mentally, that was just the toughest part, because it's just setback after setback, and then you feel like you're getting somewhere, and then the pins were rubbing on my medial when I tried to run, so I had to go in and get them taken out. Then I was back on crutches. Mentally, you can't actually describe it unless you've been through it.
Yeah, of course.
But just know it's tough.
But when you made that England debut, though, did it feel like all the hard work and everything you'd done of just it was worth that ride? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I felt like that the day before, when I knew that I was gonna play, and like I got presented with a shirt by the England manager and like in front of everyone, and then it was like, yeah, this journey so far has been amazing and worth it, and all the dark times have been so worth it. When you get to the game, it's just business as usual, and it's just what we know. So there's less emotion, I think, when you're playing the game, but everything that surrounds it. So like before it, I felt great. After it, obviously, all the messages and the sense of achievement, knowing that you've just made your England debut, feels great. But yeah, the game itself, I think, is much more for family and friends to watch and feel proud.
Yeah, there's a few questions that the fans have been sending in as well. You said you set a bit of a challenge for the kids.
Yeah. I set a challenge and I done it wrong.
So what was the challenge? Let's hear about the challenge. What was it?
So I set so it was through the academy. So it was like TMA 40. Obviously, my squad number at Villa is 40. So it was like 20 alternate kick-ups with both feet, and then 10 with your left and 10 with your right. So I was doing it. I done 10, then I done 10 with my left, 10 with my right, and then I posted it. Someone was like, "That was 31." I was like, "Yeah, you're absolutely right. Good job I don't get paid to count."
That is brilliant.
It's all well and good. Obviously, it's trying to. It's a little something through the academy. Try and keep kids active and give them something to do. It's tough, and obviously, we talk about our situation in terms of it's tough for footballers. Blah blah blah. There are a lot of people out there with a lot of the resources that we don't have, and a lot of the space and equipment we don't have. So trying to give them something, a little bit of motivation through us is obviously important.
You said you're doing a bit for the NHS as well. They're the real heroes at this moment in time, though. You know, we talk about footballers and celebrities who everyone sort of looks up to. And let's not be honest, without football, we all feel lost. But I think it's a great time to highlight the great work that the NHS have been doing for not just now. Obviously, it's highlighted more now, but you know, every time they go into work.
Absolutely, and I think the best thing, hopefully, that comes from this is how much appreciation people will give to NHS workers, from the politics world to the everyday man in society. I mean, they're doing this work day in, day out. They're on the front line day in, day out. It's only now that obviously people are thinking, wow, these guys do such great work, but they're doing the amazing work that they do throughout the year. So we at the academy thought we can't really do anything to impact them right now or to help them right now as a footballer or a football academy. The academy is obviously shut for obvious reasons. So you can imagine people are working long shifts at the moment, not spending too much time with their families. So we've opened the doors to NHS and key workers, kids who can come along to the academy for free when all this is done, just to try and give them a bit of time back, because obviously whilst they're at the academy, they don't have to worry about what they're going to do in the evenings or anything like that. So yeah, it's a small gesture of appreciation. It's the only thing really that we can offer them through the academy. So we've had a lot of inquiries, so we might have to open another night to handle all the inquiries. But I think everybody's trying to do their bit.
You say it's a small little thing that you're doing, but it's so massive to people. Do you know what I mean? I think like, you know, when we talk about the health secretary, what he said about potentially footballers should do this or should do that, but not a lot of stuff that we do. We're out there telling people that we're doing, if you know what I mean, or as an ex-footballer. But we know what goes on in the dressing rooms and how much we do behind the scenes that we don't want credit for. Do you know what I mean? So it's just glad to see that, you know, footballers are now maybe getting painted in a better light. You know what I mean? Because there's so much stuff that they do behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of people, it's kind of a difficult situation because a lot of the time you do things and it doesn't get highlighted. But then the problem with that is that when you don't highlight it, people think you're not doing anything. And some people just don't, some people don't want the credit for it. But no, I think society and the football industry will be tighter for this. And I think everybody will come out of it thinking, we played our part, and whatever that part is, whether it's a contribution to the players together, whether it's a personal donation that you don't want anybody to know about, or whether it's dedicating your time to go out and actively help in the community. There's so many different things that just the football industry can do to help that. I think it'll have a good impact for sure.
Only 2 questions left. This question more for me, really, because you seem quite switched on, you know, not just a footballer. I know I think I read that you was a mortgage advisor before. And then that's brilliant. That's unbelievable. But then you probably told that story as well. Probably you don't want to tell it again, but mate, you've got a company, what is it, an interior designer company as well? Yeah, so how did that come about?
Yeah, so when I signed at Bournemouth, my business partner, Katie, she was finishing her master's in interior architecture down at Bournemouth University around about the same time. And like you said, I worked in the mortgage industry, so I knew all about the buying and selling process of houses. But I wanted to move into property development somewhere down the line. So I thought, what a better way to learn about the interior side than to just set up an interior design and architecture company. So we set that up 5 years ago, near 5 years ago, and yeah, it's kind of just grown from strength to strength organically over the past 5 years. Obviously, a tough period now for business, as it is for every other business around the country. But no, I really enjoy it, and I don't think anybody would believe if I sat here and said that I do any interior designing, because I don't. I don't do that part of the business. But Katie, my business partner, is the design director, and we've got an architect who's also employed by the company. And yeah, it's just a really interesting industry that one I never thought in a million years would grow to be as successful and to do some of the projects that we've done so far. But yeah, I have a really keen interest in business, and I've set businesses up in other industries just to learn about them, really, because when I finish football, I don't know what I want to do in business, but I think the more industries that I learn about, then the better understanding I'll have of what I want to do when I finish.
Fair play. And lastly, Harry Winks asked how many times you've looked in the mirror today.
That's a deflection. Well, it's not looking in the mirror. It's walking around topless.
Oh, well, wicked. But
Right.
yeah, we'll end on that note. But honestly, I just want to say a massive pleasure. Thanks for agreeing to coming on. Obviously, I didn't get to play with you at Villa, but obviously I was in the same change room with you, and I knew how good you was. And I used to tell people about you when I first seen you play. So all the best. I hope you do. You can stay out with Villa and get as much England caps as possible, man. And I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate your time.
Good man. I'll see you soon.
Well, that's it, guys. If you enjoyed that, share the video and let us know in the comments if you'd like to see more and who I should speak to next. Thanks for watching.